Hello, my name is Luke Lane. Here's a presentation of my research topic proposal, Technology for Biliteracy, exploring teachers' self-efficacy in using mobile devices for learning. My research topic centers on how MAL, which is an acronym for Mobile Assisted Language Learning, can affect Chinese primary school teachers' self-efficacy, or a training on using MAL. Digital tools can help their self-efficacy in English language teaching. So I'm interested in this project because I have worked with Chinese emergent bilinguals, or EBs, for a decade, and I want to add to the knowledge of best practices for supporting struggling readers through technological interventions. I think that this is worth studying because Chinese EBs often attend schools with either an English-heavy or an English-focused curriculum, and not being able to read in English causes them to fall behind or even fail. And so my local context, I've worked in China for nearly a decade in bilingual and international schools, and I am always aware of the struggles that come with having a dual curriculum. Currently, I work at Qinglan School, which is a place where students have to meet Common Core state standards in English language arts and mathematics, even though they're non-native or have very low levels of English proficiency. And this creates a special challenge for those emergent readers, first and second grade, who are expected to read grade level texts but lack the comprehension skills needed to be fluent. So my problem statement is that there is a prevalence of silent picture books and an absence of electronic reading material, and that impacts Chinese students' reading abilities and their habits. And so they usually have a negative disposition towards reading picture books. The specific problem is that many EFL teachers just don't know how to use. They express their inability to use mobile devices, or they lack confidence in using them for reading and language learning. Some of the gaps in the literature include that, more research is needed to continually update the variables that influence teachers' intentions to use mobile devices. Researchers need to analyze how technology influences teachers and how they practice its use in the classroom. And many teachers are unwilling to use mobile devices, and understanding why can help build their confidence and competence. So this mixed methods action research study allows for an in-depth exploration of individual perspectives of self-efficacy through structured interviews post-MAL training. And the research will also collect quantitative data about teacher self-efficacy through a pre- and post-test Likert-style questionnaire called the MTSES. Now, the MTSES is a research-based survey tool that is designed to help gain a better understanding of teachers' level of comfort with the kinds of tasks that are needed to do when integrating technology-based resources such as mobile devices and mobile reusable learning objects in school activities. The participants for my study will need to be teachers from my current K-12 school that have been using mobile devices for at least a year and are currently working in first or second grade, where English language biliteracy skills are in crucial development stages for young readers. So in terms of data collection, I will collect quantitative data, and that'll be collected through that MTSES. So 2 groups of teacher participants will be evaluated. Both groups will take a questionnaire, and then the experimental group will take a 4-week training. And the training is in using iPads for instruction. After the training, both groups will be reassessed using the same MTSES Likert survey. The qualitative data will be collected through semi-structured interviews with teachers, with experience using mobile devices in Qinglan's primary schools. That's first and second grade specifically. Interviews will be audio recorded and then transcribed. And I will use a professional translation service if interviews need to be done in Mandarin. And I will transcribe all English interviews using Qual Transcribe. It's an online transcription service. It's an IRB approved academic transcription service. For analysis, the quantitative data will be analyzed using t-tests. The t-tests will be used to investigate the variations between the experimental and control groups. And then I will use ANOVA, which is an analysis of variance. It'll be used to determine any variances in scores from the before and after MTSES Likert questionnaire. For qualitative data, a thematic analysis of the interview transcripts will be done as well. The interviews will be coded for any themes or patterns, and then I will hire an independent coder, and that will be needed for intercoder reliability. So for data triangulation, I will analyze any score or activity data that can come from that 4-week training. Now, the justification for this is, well, action research is common in education research. It's pragmatic for solving issues in local context. Combine that with mixed methods. The mixed methods design is pragmatic because it helps counter some of those threats to validity. For example, by incorporating only a quasi-experimental design, there are threats to validity, like history, where some teachers are just more experienced in using technology, and thus they might perform better on both the pre and post Likert surveys. Or you have the threat of maturation, where participants expect the survey results because they've already taken it once. So they test better the second time around. Having semi-structured interviews after the training can help counter some of those threats. And overall, the purpose of this study is to find ways to increase educator self-efficacy in using mobile devices and determine whether more training is an effective way of doing that. So the next steps, I'll need to obtain approval. I need to obtain approval from the research participants by collecting signatures using the consent form that I've provided in my appendix. Finish my annotated bibliography and add more to my literature review by thoroughly analyzing any of that extant research on teacher perceptions of technology, especially in biliteracy. And last, I need some critical feedback about my research topic, and I hope that I can get some from you today. Thanks!